The Bridgerton family, introduced in Julia Quinn's 2000 novel The Duke and I, has captured the hearts of romance enthusiasts both in literature and in the Shondaland adaptation on Netflix. The first season showcased the marriage of Daphne, the eldest daughter, to the alluring Duke of Hastings. Season 2 continues the excitement, focusing on Lord Anthony Bridgerton's romantic endeavors with two sisters. For those eager to witness the marriages of the rest of the Bridgerton siblings on the show, here are the delightful details of their unions and families, as depicted in the books. So keep watching to experience more love and romance with the Bridgerton family. The Bridgerton novels are set in the Regency era and cover a span of over 14 years, following the romantic journeys of 8 siblings, the sons and daughters of the late Edmund Bridgerton, Viscount Bridgerton, and his wife, Violet. Alongside the main 8 titles in the Bridgerton series, author Julia Quinn has released 4 companion titles and a 4-book spin-off series called Rokesby. This extensive collection creates an enchanting and enduring narrative, making it a captivating and long-standing story. Furthermore, it's worth noting that Julia Quinn has authored 25 other books that are not related to the Bridgerton series. And yes, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe for more Bridgerton updates and discussions. Now, let's dive into the story of Daphne Bridgerton marrying Simon Basset, Duke of Hastings, in The Duke and I. Daphne and Simon, facing contrasting desires, devise a clever scheme to benefit both of them. Daphne seeks love and a family, while Simon, in defiance of his cruel father, swears off marriage and children. They agree that by pretending to court each other, Daphne will attract numerous proposals, and Simon will escape unwanted attention from other potential suitors. Their plan takes a tumultuous turn when Daphne's eldest brother, who also happens to be Simon's closest friend, discovers them in a passionate embrace. Anthony insists that Simon must marry Daphne, but he adamantly refuses. A potential duel looms between Anthony and Simon until Daphne intervenes. She discloses that someone else witnessed their encounter, jeopardizing her reputation and future. To protect Daphne and her sister's prospects, she implores Simon to marry her. The couple finds themselves in a challenging situation with their hearts and futures at stake. In the romance novel The Duke and I, Daphne and Simon encounter challenges at the beginning of their marriage due to miscommunication about their desires for a family. Daphne believes Simon is unable to have children, unaware that he has been using the withdrawal method. This revelation strains their relationship. However, as the story progresses, they reconcile and find happiness together. In the Bridgertons' Happily Ever After, set 28 years later, it is revealed that Daphne and Simon have a fulfilling family life. They have 5 children, each named alphabetically: Amelia, Belinda, Caroline, David, and Edward. The Bridgerton legacy continues with grandchildren as well. This heartwarming tale follows their journey from overcoming initial difficulties to building a loving and prosperous family. Next, Lord Anthony Bridgerton marries Catherine Sheffield in The Viscount Who Loved Me. In The Viscount Who Loved Me, Anthony Bridgerton has been the Viscount for 12 years, convinced he won't live past his father's age. Determined to marry for a legacy, he pursues Edwina Sheffield. However, Edwina's sister Kate disapproves of and despises Anthony for his reputation with women. Despite her resistance, Kate discovers Anthony's true character when he defends her friend, Penelope Featherington. Their paths intertwine, and after a bee-sting incident, they are caught in a compromising position. To protect both sisters' reputations, Anthony marries Kate. Although he struggles to admit his love for her, events lead to an emotional confession. We meet Anthony and Kate's 4 children, Edmund, Miles, Charlotte, and Mary, in Happily Ever After, which takes place several years after Anthony's awful 39th birthday. Okay, so next is Benedict Bridgerton marries Sophia Beckett in An Offer from a Gentleman. Do you want a Bridgerton story based on Cinderella? Yes, you do, and An Offer from a Gentleman is exactly that. Sophie Beckett, the illegitimate daughter of the late Earl of Penwood, endures a difficult life under her unkind stepmother, Araminta. During Lady Violet's masquerade ball, Sophie meets Benedict Bridgerton, who falls for her instantly. They part without exchanging names, but when Benedict finds a glove that leads him to Sophie's identity, he confronts Araminta. Sophie is banished from her home, but rescued by Benedict when she faces trouble later. Employed by him, she conceals their earlier encounter. Their relationship turns illicit, and Benedict avoids marriage until he discovers Sophie's true identity. They quarrel, and Sophie is arrested, but the truth about her inheritance and Araminta's deception comes to light. With Lady Violet's help, the couple overcomes obstacles and they eventually marry. In Happily Ever After, they have 4 children: Charles, Alexander, William, and Violet. Let's talk about Colin Bridgerton marrying Penelope Featherington in Romancing Mr. Bridgerton. Bridgerton Season 1 had everyone longing for Colin, the total sweetheart, to realize Penelope was in love with him. Unfortunately, fans had to wait a long time to see Eloise Bridgerton's best friend marry. In Romancing Mr. Bridgerton, Penelope overhears Colin stating he won't marry her. Years later, Penelope, now nearing 30 and in love with Colin since she was 15, helps him uncover Lady Whistledown's identity. Spending time together reignites their friendship, but when Colin kisses her, he abruptly leaves, leaving Penelope hurt and believing he pitied her. Amidst a shocking revelation about Lady Whistledown's true identity, Colin discovers Penelope's secret. They argue but ultimately reconcile, and Colin proposes. However, their engagement party is overshadowed by Lady Whistledown's blackmail attempt. In defiance, Colin reveals Penelope's identity publicly. In the event of Happily Ever After, Colin and Penelope have 4 children: Agatha, Thomas, Jane, and George. So what twists and turns await Colin and Penelope's love story in Bridgerton Season 3? How will Lady Whistledown's revelation impact their relationship and family life with 4 children? Share your thoughts. Okay, moving on to Eloise Bridgerton marries Sir Philip Crane in To Sir Philip with Love. Would you marry someone you'd never met before? You might if you were the daring and impulsive Eloise Bridgerton. In Bridgerton Season 1, Marina Thompson faces an impossible situation when she becomes pregnant by her ex-lover George, who later dies in battle. She marries his brother Philip, and they have twins, but Marina tragically dies by suicide. Eloise, the distant Bridgerton cousin, writes to Philip, leading to a marriage proposal. However, Eloise discovers Philip's emotional distance is rooted in past trauma, and he needs a mother for his children. Despite the unconventional start, Eloise's love and support helped Philip heal. In Happily Ever After, Amanda marries Charles Faraday, and Philip and Eloise have 3 children: Penelope, Georgiana, and Frederick. With that, let's see Francesca Bridgerton marries John and Michael Sterling, 8th and 9th Earls of Kilmartin, in When He Was Wicked. Francesca Bridgerton is set to marry John Sterling, but his cousin Michael falls in love with her. Tragedy strikes when John dies unexpectedly, leaving Michael as the heir. He runs away to India for 4 years, while Francesca yearns to remarry and have a child. They reunite in London, considering marriage for practical reasons, but doubts arise about Michael's cousin's memory and Francesca's suitors. After a passionate encounter, Francesca flees to Scotland. Colin intervenes, and Michael convinces her to marry him, leading to steamy encounters before they wed. Francesca and John had no children, but she and Michael have 2 kids, John and Janet. And last, Gregory Bridgerton marries Lady Lucinda Abernathy on the way to the wedding. Gregory Bridgerton is determined to win Hermione Watson's heart with the help of her best friend, Lucy Abernathy, who is betrothed to Lord Haselby. However, Hermione is secretly in love with her father's secretary. When Richard, Earl of Fensworth, proposes to Hermione, Gregory is disappointed. An awkward encounter leads Lucy to her uncle's home, where she faces pressure to marry Lord Haselby. Gregory and Lucy reunite at a ball, and despite their passion, Lucy marries Lord Haselby under blackmail. With the truth exposed, her marriage is annulled, and Gregory, Richard, and Lord Haselby become allies. Lucy and Gregory finally marry and have a large family of 11 children in Happily Ever After: Catherine, Richard, Hermione, Daphne, Anthony, Benedict, Colin, Eloise, and Francesca. The highly anticipated 3rd season of Bridgerton on Netflix will focus on the romance between Colin Bridgerton and Penelope Featherington. However, viewers are also excited about the story of Gregory Bridgerton, Anthony's youngest brother, whose unhinged shenanigans unfold in Julia Quinn's 8th Bridgerton novel, On the Way to the Wedding.